and hit the bell icon for any future upload. And also, relax and enjoy the experience.
What is up, guys? Siddharth here, back with another video, second video of 2018, and how you all guys doing? Now, just a week ago, probably, your subscription boxes might have been filled up with these videos of CES 2018. Mine was, and I'm pretty sure yours was as well. So I waited a week to get out this video. So this video is going to be on the top 5 smartphone features of 2018. We're gonna have all these flagship smartphones from Samsung, Apple, Google, OnePlus, and all those companies. But what are their main smartphone features gonna be of? What are those in this video? So to start things off, why don't we talk about the under-the-display fingerprint scanners? Now, this year at CES, we saw Snapchat come out with an under-the-display fingerprint scanner technology in partnership with Vivo, who provided the smartphone for demoing that fingerprint scanner. Now, actually, it is a bit slow. It takes around 0.7 seconds to actually recognize and scan a finger, which isn't slow, but it isn't that fast when you compare it to today's regular fingerprint scanner. Now, this is just the introduction of such technology, so with some time, under-the-display fingerprint scanner on par with today's fingerprint scanners. Who knows, it could be even better than those. So next off, why don't we talk about wireless charging? It first started off like 10 years ago with a normal smartphone having wireless charging, and then came Samsung once again with wireless charging on their Galaxy devices, starting off with the Samsung Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge variants. They were the first phones in a while to have wireless charging, which it did involve a wire which connected to the pad, but in between the phone and the pad there was no wire connecting it, so in turn it actually meant it was wirelessly charging the device. And then that technology was then perfected and so on and so forth, and eventually last year in 2017 Apple came out with the iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and 10, which had wireless charging built into the device. Now, that was a huge step for Apple since they didn't use any proprietary method that Apple developed. Rather, they used the regular Qi standard of wireless charging, which is great. It isn't the fastest nor is it the best, but it is better off, and we should see a lot of smartphones coming out this year with wireless charging built in. But that's just an expectation. This isn't the actual full wireless charging that we're expecting. The wireless charging that we should be expecting is we get into a room and it should start charging automatically, and that technology is still under development, so we're still having a long way to go. But I can assure you that one company might not be coming out with wireless charging just yet. OnePlus might come out with the 6 or 6T without wireless charging built in, just because they stated that Qi standards of wireless charging is not compatible with dash charging, which is one of the fastest ways of charging your smartphone on any device, and it's only available on OnePlus devices, so I think they better patent it or something like that, or they might have already. Next off, why don't we talk about cameras? Just last year, the increase in the number of cameras has been dramatically massive. We have smartphones with dual rear-facing cameras, and then we got smartphones with dual front-facing cameras. In 2016, Apple decided to use dual camera setups in their smartphones, which became a huge craze in 2017. Almost every smartphone after Q3 had a dual camera setup in them, and a smartphone without a dual camera was considered a waste of money. And that's only because of this one great feature called portrait mode. Not everyone could spend on a really expensive DSLR, so they thought, why don't we get a smartphone with a dual camera that could replicate that bokeh effect a normal DSLR could do. But then Google proved that theory wrong, because with the Google Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL, which came out with a single front-facing camera and a single rear-facing camera, it could pull off that same portrait effect with that amount of bokeh using software and machine learning, which was amazing. So this year is a huge question of whether we'll have a lot of dual camera smartphones or a lot of single camera smartphones, or there has been this rumor that Huawei is possibly planning on a triple camera smartphone. 2 cameras of different focal lengths and one of a monochrome sensor. So that's just Huawei's theory. Maybe 2019 would be the year of triple cameras or something like that if Huawei seems to pull something different off of this. But we'll see. Next off, why don't we talk about neural processing unit chipsets. So last year, Apple and Huawei came out with their in-house made chipsets, the A11 Bionic and the HiSilicon Kirin 970 processors. Now, both of them had something in common. Both of them sported an individual separate neural processing unit which is actually used to process AI functionality. Now that does not mean that that neural processing unit is going to be used by Siri or Google Assistant or Emmy, which is Huawei's smart assistant, I guess, but it's also used for other functions in the name of optimizing and increasing the performance of your smartphone. It takes in all day-to-day tasks and analyzes that data and optimizes your phone accordingly to which situation it is put onto. Now, it could not only be used for optimization of the software of the smartphone, but also for the hardware. The hardware could be optimized in understanding the surroundings of which it is present in, and hence giving you a better experience of the smartphone and getting you better images or better sound quality according to which kind of hardware is tapping into at the moment in order to adjust and optimize. Next off, last but not least, we're going to be talking about flexible or foldable smartphones, which is probably going to be a huge thing after Q3 of 2018. We're actually hearing news from CES 2018 that VIPs or people from carriers were actually shown concepts of the Samsung Galaxy X, which is said to be Samsung's foldable or flexible smartphone of 2018, which was rumored for a really long time. Now, of course, the foldable smartphone concept was actually brought out last year in 2017 with the introduction of the ZTE Axon M, which is the smartphone which you can actually fold out and use as a massive tablet. But that isn't the kind of foldable smartphone that we're looking for. It's just 2 individual displays that are close together, which you can open up to form sort of like a massive display. But that's not what Samsung is aiming to do here. Samsung actually wants to make an entire display fold with components inside, including the battery and processors and so on and so forth. Now, of course, in events like CES or MWC, you see concepts of these smartphones, you see those displays bend, but then again, you see a huge box that holds the display. That's where the battery and the processor are, and the display is it's a separate unit all by itself. So unless smartphone manufacturers and OEM developers find out a way to make the internal components of a smartphone flexible, or if they find a way to make that base even tinier, foldable smartphones are not a long way. We've seen foldable displays and we've seen super thin displays, and this thing could only be pulled off by OLEDs. So this could be a thing in 2018 or 2019. Heck, it could even come out maybe in 2020 or something like that. It could come out next year as the Samsung Galaxy S10 or something like that, or maybe it could come out as an entirely new series, or it could come out as the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 probably. So who knows, that could be a thing, guys. The ZTE Axon M was a beautiful concept, but it was just 2 smartphones joined together to form one. Now, of course, I might have not explained this concept any clearer, but I will link down a video which explains this concept very beautifully. It's MKBHD's video, and it's a great one. I'll link it down in the description below. Go ahead, watch that video. But anyway, that wraps it up for this video. Hope you liked it. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe, follow me on all social media links linked down in the description below. Support me on Patreon, and I'll see you guys later.